All new Jeep Wranglers purchased on any Friday get a free lift. You pick it, we lift it. There's no need to shop anywhere else. It's simple. If Murray Superstore doesn't have it, the manufacturer doesn't build it. And we'll trade anything from cowboy boots to leisure suits. Now more than ever, be American, buy American. Buy Murray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Check out our new inventory and compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com during the Make This the Summer event. You'll see why everybody's driving the Murray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in start. And remember, at any Murray Superstore, it's all about you. Shazam!
If your king or queen sago palms have been invaded by Asian cycad scale, it's time to fight back with organic Summit year-round spray oil. It kills Asian cycad scale and other insect pests. But Summit year-round spray oil contains no chemical toxins. Insects don't build up a resistance to this horticultural oil, so it keeps working every time you spray. Summit year-round spray oil is available at fine garden centers and at SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
If you're looking for premium, high-quality food served in an unforgettable atmosphere, you're going to love brunch at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
This is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet.
Complete with build-your-own omelet station. Served every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reservations are encouraged, and walk-ins are always welcome.
Plus, you can enjoy bottomless, mimosas, and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Sports Scene. As you listen on WRUF, Macy's going to make sure all the buttons are pushed right and all the guests come on, and we'll do our next 2 hours talking sports with you. Our show fueled by our friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Simply put, almost 50 years they've run that business. Drive around town, you're going to see a ton of vehicles like mine with a Southeast Car Agency tag on it, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. We come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. Pool enclosures, businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. They can make your home, your pool area look great. Even light up your house orange and blue if you want it. Visit GatorTrimLight.com to find out more. If you have a text question you want to get to us, it's sponsored by B&D Electric, professional, reliable electrical service you can trust. You can schedule at bdelectric.com. That number for you to text to 352-325-3777. All of our phone calls come to you on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. With 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City to serve you better. Same-day scheduling available. Call them for the best MRI, TitanMRI.com. All the emails, you know that email, srussell@wruf.com. Courtesy of International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Great wedding bands, jewelry. You want great jewelry, this is the place to go. And our first hour sponsor, Quality Plumbing. The same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all. And don't forget, all of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. The only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators, Meldon Law, won't back down. We're going to try, and just in case you don't follow college baseball, try to get as many of the SEC teams chronicled here in their run to Omaha. And one of those teams is Alabama, a team that Florida played earlier in the year. One of their play-by-play voices, Roger Hoover, joins us to talk about their run to Omaha. Roger, yeah, I know. Roger, thank you for doing this. Beginning of the year, you looked at this Alabama team. Did you think this team was capable of this run?
Strangely, yes. Because of one key reason, starting pitching. I really liked how Alabama went into the season with very few questions among its starting rotation, with Tyler Faye, Zane Adams, two guys who'd kind of been through it before, knew what to expect, and then an outstanding freshman behind him, Miles Upchurch. Now, did I think those three would stay in the rotation the entire season, stay healthy, really not getting blown up in any of their starts, which really the Gators blew up Miles Upchurch in the first inning of the start. That was the only time we had a starter not make it out of the first inning this entire season. So those guys gave me some confidence because just too often I've seen both my Alabama teams, other teams that certainly were good, certainly were offensively teams that are worthy of playing in Omaha, but if you don't have great starting pitching, the domino effect that leads to, bullpen guys being put in roles they really shouldn't be in. Like, it's hard for a team to win consistently at this time of the year if you don't have great frontline starting pitching. And Alabama's had that throughout the season, which, again, allowed Alabama to have a good regular season. It also is a cause for them not playing as well in some midweek games and maybe causing some frustration amongst the fan base. Like, how's this team going to win if they can't beat so-and-so? And even a team like Troy couldn't beat Troy on the road earlier this season. We see that they make it out of your guys' regional and into Omaha eventually. So I think it was a group that we all felt good about going into the season, mostly based on the starting rotation. Then during the year, just the offense was so hot and cold at different points of the season, you kind of wondered, could Alabama have a consistent winner later in the season? And as it turns out, after losing to the Gators, it's been a different story ever since Hoover for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, speaking of, you certainly have a first-round draft pick, at least potentially, in LeBron. But if somebody doesn't know much about your team from an offensive standpoint, again, a little up and down, but right now, offensively, what do you see with this team?
Really, everybody's playing well. I think they're kind of settled on their consistent starting nine, and there's really not one player among that starting nine you could point to that's had a bad NCAA tournament. Even the guy hitting ninth in our order, Peyton Steele, had been hitless in the first two games of the regional. Comes back, gets two key hits in our third and final game against Oklahoma State that helps set up Brady Neal's home run. So, this is an offense that's kind of figured itself out. Once they stabilize the left field position with freshman Eric Hines, Brady Neal's been really valuable, whether in right field or behind the plate. But now he's kind of locked into being behind the plate after our catcher on night one of the regional, John Lynn, had a foul tip off his right hand, broke a bone in that hand. He's still able to play as our DH amazingly. I don't know how he's doing it.
How is he doing that?
Yeah, it's next level. Whatever they've done, he's going to have to get surgery. It's probably the day after the season comes to an end, whether it's a national championship or not. He has been able to gut through it and get some key hits as well as our DH. So it's a tough, resilient group, something that Coach Vaughn kind of harped on all season long, and sometimes fans could maybe roll their eyes at when you're getting swept by Arkansas and Kentucky. That toughness has paid off, and that's led to a really great run for this team that goes all the way to Omaha for the first time since 1999. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it has been a while. Give me your impressions, Rob, of your head coach, or Roger, of your head coach.
Yeah, just a great motivator, first of all, and a guy that's extremely organized and had a great plan to take over this program. For fans that don't remember, in 2023, our head coach was Brad Bohannon, who had kind of steadily built Alabama up into being near the upper half of the SEC. But as it turns out, he got fired in a gambling investigation. He had given essentially a tip to a friend who made a large wager on a game between Alabama and LSU. Alabama found that out, promptly fired him, and then promoted Jason Jackson, the pitching coach, to interim head coach. And as a result, Alabama played well the rest of the year, won a regional, and before eventually going on the road and losing to Wake Forest. And a day after, Rob Vaughn got the job. from the University of Maryland, and it was announced that Jason Jackson would stay with Alabama as the pitching coach after most of us thought he would either get the head coaching job or leave to go elsewhere as a head coach or maybe a pitching coach for another Power 4 team. But he stayed, and give Rob Vaughn and Jason Jackson a lot of credit for how they made that relationship work. And the pitching development's been really good under JJ's watch, and Rob has just brought in a really good roster of players that honestly have a bit of a chip on their shoulder. Maybe think they were overlooked a little bit by the LSUs, the Floridas, the Vandy's, the Tennessees of the world, and say, you know what, we want to go play baseball for a place where we can make some history and be the first Omaha team in a long time. And, man, these guys live out kind of that mentality each and every day. Even when we were in Hoover as a top 4 seed for the SEC tournament, the team that was getting talked about the least on television, like on SEC Now and ESPN shows when looking at the NCAA tournament, was Alabama. And Chris Birch said it earlier today from ESPN on a conference call. Alabama is the most overlooked team, but probably of all 8 teams going to Omaha this week. And that's pretty remarkable considering how big the Alabama brand is across all sports. But that's just kind of been the case with this group. But I think in a lot of ways they kind of like it too. I think they understand that they can play the underdog role some and kind of relish this opportunity to be the doubted ones that can make some noise.
You stole my thunder there, Roger. That was my next question, Roger. But so I'll end with this. I mean, obviously, fans love winners, and it's been since 1999. You had a record-breaking crowd there for the Supers. I would imagine this fan base is geeked to go to Omaha.
Yeah, they really are, and just for kind of a new experience for a fan base that honestly, has been the college football playoff a lot, kind of seen that. And now our basketball fan base is getting pretty spoiled as well, consistently making the Sweet 16. A couple years ago, making the program's first Final Four. Softball seemingly is always in Oklahoma City for the College World Series on the women's side. So getting this new experience is going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see how many Alabama fans show up for our first game against Oklahoma, which, we both wear crimson, so the ballpark will be in that similar color. But I think you're going to see a lot of Alabama fans relish this opportunity going to the new ballpark for the first time, like you guys got to go when you won your national championship a few years ago. I think this fan base is starved to get to celebrate college baseball in this regard. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's been a great ride so far. And the biggest thing of all was Alabama got to do it at home over the last couple weekends, and that's credit to the coaching staff and the players for a good regular season to earn that national seed and get to make history at home.
Did Alabama play OU in the regular year?
Yes, actually, in Norman, took 2 out of 3. It was funny. Alabama, I think, only scored about 4 of those 27 innings. One of those innings was like a 7-8 run inning on opening night. Alabama kind of cruised to victory after that. And then we had a lot of heavy wind, low-scoring games, really well-pitched games on both sides, but taking a look at Oklahoma over the weekend, they look different than the team Alabama faced in April, and I think you can say Alabama's a little bit better than what they were back then as well. So fascinating first matchup as we're in the bracket of death, it seems like, with Oklahoma along with Texas and Georgia on the other side. Texas, we went to Texas, lost 2 out of 3 in Austin. Again, didn't hit the ball very well. Texas's pitching was really good. And then we didn't face Georgia in the regular season. So a matchup with the Bulldogs would be our first of the year. And we'll see if those home runs will carry all the way to Omaha. It's a tough ballpark to hit home runs in compared to Foley Field. So we'll see what a Bulldogs Crimson Tide matchup would look like. But we can't wait. We're excited to play anybody. Again, just making it to this point has made this the most historic year we've seen this century for Alabama baseball, and we're ready to go.
That's really cool for you. Roger, first of all, thank you. I know how busy you are preparing to go. Thank you for taking the time. Enjoy Omaha, and good luck to you all. Thank you.
Steve, you're the best. It was great seeing Hoover a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, sure was.
Seeing you again. Thanks for having me on.
You got it, Roger. Thank you. One of the nicer guys in our biz, and it was fun seeing him in Hoover when Florida played Alabama. And it's interesting. They had the same experience against Oklahoma that we did. Oklahoma was not good when Florida played them, and they have turned it around to their credit, and here they are. It's about getting hot at the right time sometimes, and it certainly has paid off for them. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll open the phone lines later on today if all goes the way it should. Gator great Kevin Carter is going to join us. Also, Dalton Wasserman. We'll talk some NFL. And J.C. Deacon, the Gator men's golf coach, is scheduled to be with us as well. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Florida basketball summer workouts are fully underway. The Gators are returning 4 of last year's starters, one of whom include All-American Thomas Howell, who believes the Gators have a lot to prove going back to International Benchmark Arena for the first time since their March Madness loss.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting too. I think we got some stuff to prove and finish out in that that arena. So that's going to be awesome.
The season opener will take place in Tampa on November 2nd against rival Miami Hurricanes. 3 Florida Gators earned U.S. Open berths. Those 3 include Billy Horschel, Alejandro Tosti, and Jackson Arnold. The Tampa Bay Rays host the Boston Red Sox in the second game of their 3-game series. Yesterday's game resulted in the Rays winning 3-1. First pitch is at 6:40. For full coverage of today's slugfest, check WRUF at 6 o'clock.
Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their meatball sub with fries or onion rings, topped with the house sauce and lots of melted mozzarella.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Soccer sticker fever is here at MIAPA. Every Wednesday from 4 till 9 p.m., we're in the Fad League for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 locations. MIAPA Soccer Sticker Wednesdays from 4 till 9 p.m.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Great song. Don't forget tonight, Rays and the Red Sox. Coverage begins at 6 right after the tailgate. That will be followed by Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. Vegas and Carolina Knights are up 2-1. All right, we got a little time here for you. If you have any kind of a YouTube question, Macy will get it to us, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking, founded on the UF campus, serving our community for 90 years. Facebook Live questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for casualty, home, and car and life insurance. International Diamond Center email, Tampa Mike. Gators represented really well yesterday in the Fonda U.S. Open qualifying. Yes, J.C. Deacon, the Gator men's golf coach, will talk about that with us next hour. 2 incoming freshmen for Coach won medalist honors at their respective sites. These incoming freshmen beat out many pros to qualify. Gator golf future looks good. NBA playoffs, series interesting. Each game could have gone either way. This is going to be an interesting final. I will bring that up now. I'm not saying this because it happened. I just had a bad vibe last night when the president decided to go watch that game. And not because it's Trump. It could have been President Macy or President Steve. Okay, so let's not get political here. Okay, but for all of the hoopla, no pun intended, and all the nonsense going on with all of that, it just seemed a little off. And give the Spurs credit for bouncing back. And, now, there were a lot of fouls called in the Knicks last night. A lot of them. And the head coach of the Knicks complained about that. But I get it. The Knicks are still in the driver's seat, but the seatbelt's loose. It's not as secure as it was. So, call us up. We can talk about that. Anything else you'd like to do in the world of sports, because it's getting close to that time of the year. Also, tomorrow on the show, some really good guests. Jim Callis from the MLB Network is going to talk about the upcoming draft. And then Keith Carter, the athletic director at Ole Miss, is going to join us to talk about Ole Miss's run to Omaha, and then about more global things that are going on in terms of, the whole Sorsby situation, the whole playoff situation, that. Next week, I believe it's Wednesday, live here in studio, new women's basketball coach Tammy Reese will be here. Yeah, she'll take your questions, calls, and comments next Wednesday. I will remind you about that. International Diamond Center email, Peyton, what is it about college baseball that lends itself to have a lot of high-scoring, football-esque scores like 14-10 or 17-13? Ballparks, smaller. Wind tends to blow out, Peyton, at a lot of these places. Major League Baseball doesn't have games like this often, but they do occasionally. And look, if you throw a fastball 97 middle of the plate and you hit it, the exit speed is going to be pretty good. So anyway, that's part of it. But yeah, that is certainly the case. All right. A couple of more emails here. Nothing on the NBA last night? Come on, people. You got to be kidding me. Carl, this is an interesting question. He says, I'm appalled by the Sorsby decision. What do you think comes out of this? Carl, if I knew the answer to that, I'd play the lottery right now, because I don't know the answer to it. But it has brought up reaction. Scott Strickland talked about it. I'm hoping to get a comment from Keith Carter tomorrow, the Ole Miss AD, about it. schools have already said they don't want to play Texas Tech. I get it. Now, Rich Eisen, Macy, get ready for this, okay, talked about Congress being involved in helping to straighten things out when it came to college football and college athletics. This is what he had to say.
There's a lot wrong. I just don't think Congress has the cohesion, the bipartisan cohesion, or the desire, or the people who occupy the offices, the desire and the time to actually study these issues and come up with an intelligent answer that a bipartisan group can come together on. I just don't think they're going to also figure it out. It's got to be people who are boots on the ground, who know everything about it and do have a general sense of wanting to fix it.
I respect Rich's opinion. I understand where he's coming from with this. But the very reason that Congress is getting involved is because those same people he talks about with boots on the ground can't come up with anything. What have they come up with? What have they come up with? Look, what I hope is that we fast forward to August here and we can start the football season so that some of this stuff goes in the rearview mirror. Because at least then you'll see games and forget about some of this stuff. But for the next 2 months, we're going to see what happens here. All right, let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. D is there. Hi, D.
Hey, what's up, Steve? Thought I'd throw you a line here, man. I like that line, what you said about the seatbelts loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think the Knicks in the driver's seat, Steve. Like I told you yesterday, that game last night was a season-saving game for the Spurs, because if they would have lost, it would have been over. So, I gotta see it tomorrow. If they win tomorrow, then I think we got something. But I'm not ready to hail the Spurs as back just yet, because they did some things in that game that I still question. The offensive rebound of the Knicks, man, it seemed like every time the Spurs got a 6-7 point lead, the Knicks got offensive rebounds and buckets, and they just couldn't extend the lead. And Keldon Johnson, man, I tell you what, he cost the Spurs 4 points, man. When Wemby hit that three late in the game that would have put him up 10, he gets a foul for pushing Mitchell Robinson into him. Then earlier in the game, I think the Knicks hit a three, and then he crashes and elbows somebody, and the Knicks get like another free throw. So he's not only is he not producing, but he's doing some, just stupid, immature things on the court. But, as far as the Knicks, Steve, they just didn't, we're talking about the role players and the bench. They just didn't get the contribution that they'd been usually getting. Bridges did nothing. Cat had a so-so game. McBride didn't do anything. And, Alvarado had 4, but Shaman only had 3. So if they're not producing at that rate, then it's going to keep the series close. Because I just don't see the Spurs, other than Harper, getting any sort of 15 to 20 point game in this series. I haven't seen it yet.
No, but their starters, I believe all were in double figures, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's right. But yeah, Harper had a good game off the bench, but they have not gotten much bench production. And if they have a night where the starters are not as good as they were in Game 3, now, again, we got to see how the Knicks play, but I get your point, because if that's the case, then their bench has got to help them. Got to help them.
Right. Tip your hat to Castle, man. I thought he had a great game, great mentality, attitude. And as much as I clown De'Aaron Fox for Game 1, he hit that shot to put him up 5 to pretty much seal the game. So I think Game 4, whoever wins this Game 4, Steve, is going to win the series. I think it's that much of a swing game.
I do too. And you would think, the Knicks being at home, but the Spurs proved they can certainly beat them there. So we will see what happens. It'll be interesting.
Yep, be good, Steve.
All right, thank you. All right, as this always works out, when I have time to get calls, I don't get them. And then when I don't have time and I have a guest coming up, I'm getting calls. So, Keith, you and David, please call back. But I have to get Kevin Carter on here next because he's booked. So we have to get him, the Gator great Kevin Carter. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
The NBA playoffs play here. WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Summer is here. This summer, don't let pain or lingering injuries hold you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants. Our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Thursdays just got a whole lot better. At Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, it's prime rib night, and it's everything you've been craving. We're talking slow-roasted, perfectly seasoned USDA prime rib, carved just the way you like it, served with a jumbo loaded baked potato and all the classic fixins. Simple, legendary, done right. This isn't just dinner, it's a weekly tradition. And hey, you asked, the head ball coach delivered. Join us every Thursday for premium prime rib night at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Come hungry, leave legendary.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy Chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Well, we are not hooking up with Kevin, so we will try to get him here. In the meantime, we will open back up phone lines here, 392-8255, and you can email srussell@wruf.com. All of our guests coming to you courtesy of Meldon Law, won't back down, serving Gator Nation since 1971, and Quality Plumbing, sponsoring hour one of the show today. Again, we got a lot of good guests coming up the rest of the week, so my callers that were here, you want to give me a call back, go ahead, and we will get you in, I promise. Meantime, International Diamond Center email from William. He says, I'm a big MLB fan. Question for you, why don't you talk more MLB? William, I'll talk MLB till the cows come home if you want. And I would ask you to call and talk MLB. So I'm not against that at all. By the way, Gator track starts at the NCAA championships. We'll see if Mike Holloway can bring home some more iron. June 10th to the 13th, it's going to be out where it always is, out in Eugene, Oregon. Later next week, I've never done this in all the years I've done this show. I've done top 4 basketball players, top 4 football players. I've never done coaches. So, next week, I want you to tell me your top 5 coaches of all time. All right, Macy, go ahead and call them. I think Kevin's ready. So that's what I'm going to do. So be thinking about that, okay? Not in one sport, not the top 5 football coaches or top 5 track coaches, the top 5 Gator coaches of all time. In doing the list, it was really hard, man. I mean, there were people that I left off that won national championships. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. But anyway, that'll be next week as we get into the middle of June. We'll have live coverage of the Men's College World Series. So that's going to be coming up as well. Lots of SEC teams involved with that. So we're looking forward to that. Okay. Is he ready? Okay. All right. Let's see here. Michael emails and says, well, Michael's a long email here. Basically, he's saying, do you think your Knicks are still going to win? Yes, I do. But I'm just give him a. Oh, there he is. Okay. But yeah, I think they're still going to win. I never thought it would be a sweep. I never thought it would be 5. I thought Knicks in 6, and I still think that. So there you are. All right, let's bring Kevin in to talk to us here about a wide variety of things. Kevin, my friend, welcome. First of all, congratulations on the Hall of Fame, the College Hall of Fame nomination.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
When did you hear about that?
You know what? I heard about it just in passing. Someone reached out and said congrats, and then another person reached out and said congrats, and I'm like, wait a minute, there must be something actually to this, and I didn't know what they were really referring to. Then someone sent me something on social media, and I said, okay, I guess I'm nominated for the College Football Hall of Fame.
Wow, just like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So,
when you found out about that, how much did that mean to you, given the great career you had collegiately, and of course as a pro too, but how much did that mean? Did it hit you right away?
Not really. I mean, it's one of those things that I think, you appreciate the accolades years after you're done. And, when I was there in the early 90s playing for Coach Spurrier, like to tell someone, over 30 years later that, oh yeah, I won, I was part of 3 out of 4 SEC titles in 4 years. When you say stuff like that, like people don't have those experiences, like of going to college and playing ball. It's like, like who does that? And so it was really an uncommon experience. And all these years later, coming back and revisiting such a wonderful, special time in my life that was filled with, discovery and evolution and just, they say that college is the best time of your life and it goes by so quickly. But, college was a whirlwind, but it was a great ride. And I was really, really blessed and fortunate to be a part of such a special group of people. And looking back on it, I mean, we were doing so much more. We were etching ourselves in the history, and we didn't really even know it.
I would be remiss not to ask your thoughts on the hiring of Coach Summerall here.
You know what? I do college football for CBS.
Yep.
And I was one of the best things that I get to do every year is we get to do Army-Navy. It's America's game. It's, I don't care where you are politically or whatever. I mean, it's America's best and brightest. I mean, these young people are truly amazing, and it is just a spectacle to see and a celebration of America on that day. Well, there's a lot of different people that come to that game. It's kind of a who's who of, the football community, if you will. And I'm walking on the sideline, and the person that I work with is a guy named Beanie Wells, and, he's an Ohio State guy. And we're both standing there on the sideline, and he just starts getting excited and, starts running over and just runs over and gives somebody just a huge hug. And I see the person he's hugging, and it's Urban Meyer. And so I walk over, and I see Urban, and he had just gotten on social media with a bunch of other people that were all, celebrating this coaching hire of John Summerall. And I'd seen him, seen his little sincere Instagram post where he's saying, oh, Gator Nation, we want to welcome Coach John Summerall. He's the guy, this and that. And, that was an opportunity for me in real time to be like, Coach, are you being serious about this? Are you really, really serious about how excited you were and this and that? And so I want to be inside scoop. And he told me right there on the field at Army-Navy just last year, he says, Kevin, I think this is the right hire for this program. He's the right guy. He's the right guy for right now. This is a changing climate. You're going to need someone who can galvanize others, who can surround himself with great coaches, great people, and people to support the program, and just a vision of also basically taking a job like Florida. Like you have to want that smoke. Like you have to want to have an unreasonable fan base that expects you to be relevant in the college football playoff picture every year, that expects you to bring home titles, that expects to have these great wins. And that kind of expectation is a lofty goal. It's a lofty expectation, but it's also one that you can't accept without, having a little bit of ego, having a little bit of edge, having, wanting that challenge. And so, all those things considered, from what I've heard, he is the guy for the job. And what I've seen, I'm really impressed with the program thus far. Haven't had the chance to come in person to visit with him. I'm going to make my way down there this summer, especially during fall camp. And hopefully I'll have a chance to meet with them and, and be a fly on the wall, make some observations and then go back and get on the air and sound smart, because I had a conversation with a coach at practice, and they just did something on TV that I'm noting or whatever. So I'm really excited about Coach Summerall's forecast for what he can do for our program. This is the kind of place it's special, and it's college football is better when the Gators are good.
Kevin, I'm going to put your CBS Sports hat on here to conclude this. Look, for somebody like me who has seen a college football game or two over the years, the only constant is change, and I've always understood that. But the whole thing with Sorsby and what a judge can do, the fact that people can't get together and come up with where to go in college football, Congress has to get involved with all of this. What are all your thoughts when you see all of these things transpire, not to mention NIL, all that?
It's a little disheartening that the people in charge aren't acting like they're in charge. But that's the only thing that I'll say. In terms of the structure of the sport, I think, you have to provide a structure. You have to remember that these are young people. We're not talking about professional athletes, just yet. But dare I say, their college experience is bordering on,
yes,
the monetization of, who they are, their name, image, and likeness. I mean, that's the whole point. And, that little grace period of, having the kid gloves on where you still get to kind of be this young kid that doesn't have these, forever, life-changing decisions in front of them. They're just kind of figuring it out in college. Well, it puts a lot more pressure on them. And don't get me wrong. Like, I know every person, every player, playing now or playing back then would choose to, we'll take the money. We'll take the, we'll take this. This is, yes, you want all those accolades. You want all that money. You want that because it's per the playing field of college football. If everyone is on kind of the same page, then it works. But when the NCAA, in college football at large or whatever the powers that be don't get out in front of it, I think what we're seeing now is, hurry up and ask for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. It's kind of the wild, wild west in terms of, kids changing schools and how you can do things, the tampering. I mean, the language is just not clear. And so I think for a judge to make that ruling, it kind of opens a door to something else, another aspect of, there's a reason I cover college football as opposed to covering the NFL. I love professional football, always will, but I love the pureness of the college game. I love the stage where you're going through those evolutionary steps of becoming an adult, and it's not your all of your flaws or your mistakes, they aren't fatal. You can still recover from these. This time period is kind of a magical period, and I love it for young people, and it's not quite the same process as it has been in the past. We know that couldn't be that way, but I would like a lot more guidance from the powers that be that have the opportunity to write the right way, structure it so that going forward, everyone can be happy. And I know that's a tall order in and of itself, but that vision has to start with what's best for the student athletes.
Yeah, we will see what happens from here going forward. Appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you. Good luck on the Hall of Fame nomination. And when football starts, we will get you back. Thank you.
Truly honored. Go Gators. Really, really happy about that. So thanks.
All right,
Good talking to you, Steve.
Same here, man. Thank you. He's one of the classiest, smartest dudes. Great guy, Kevin Carter, Gator great, and College Football Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame nominee. We'll take a break, come back. We're going to switch to the NFL. Dalton Wasserman will join us next as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Florida basketball summer workouts began yesterday. 4 of the starters are returning, including All-American Thomas Howell, who opted to return to Florida after much speculation regarding his draft status. Here's Howell on the draft process and the strategy when competing in the Combine.
Yeah, it's a lot with my agent, and it's just kind of like strategy. You don't want to go out there and perform bad or perform really, really well for a team. They get that taste in their mouth about you and stuff like that, and I don't want to go see him play. We know how he plays and stuff like that. So this is a little bit like strategy and stuff like that.
3 former Gator golfers earned U.S. Open berths. Billy Horschel, Alejandro Tosti, and Jackson Ormond will all travel to Shinnecock Hills Golf Club on June 18th. The Tampa Bay Rays defend Tropicana Field against the Boston Red Sox today. First pitch is at 6:40, with the Rays hoping to improve their record to 39-25. Full coverage on WRUF is at 6.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
It's the Battle of the Trucks at Davis-Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado 1500 strikes first with 0% financing for 60 months. The 26 GMC Sierra strikes back with 0% financing for 60 months plus no monthly payments for 130 days. Come see us today at Davis-Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, you think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí. Can I just say, you're my favorite player ever.
Soccer's biggest tournament and biggest stars are coming to Florida this summer. And the place to bet it all is on Hard Rock Bet. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Clouds and a few peaks of sun for us today. High temperatures in the upper 80s. Feels like temperatures in the lower 90s. A breeze from the Atlantic gusting to 15 miles an hour. A few stray evening showers are possible for us, mainly east of the I-75 corridor. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, humid and warm. Lows only dropping to about the 70-degree mark. Hot tomorrow feels like temperatures in the upper 90s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
We wrap up the first hour of Sports Scene to talk a little National Football League. Dalton Wasserman, who's been a frequent guest on our show, joins us here in the sort of a little bit of a downtime here. But Dalton, I wanted to ask this. First of all, I have no stake in this, but I know people who are Bears fans do. Are they going to move?
I mean, it's sure. I don't know, man. I mean, what's funny is I've been in Chicago this weekend, and it's still the most controversial thing around town that the Board of Governors approved the move, a potential move to Indiana, and there's still bills in the state Senate and things like that being proposed to try to keep them in Illinois, and it's a whole big mess right now. I'll tell you right now, even just talking to some people around this town, it's an absolute mess.
I want to ask about the three Florida teams. I mean, look, Miami is clearly in rebuild. The Bucs have been sort of, 8-8, and now the contract situation with Mayfield. And then the Jaguars had a nice year, but some questions for them. Let's start with the Jags. What improvements do they need to make, in your opinion, Dalton, to take that next step?
I think they got to get a little more consistent in the trenches, right? I think you saw in the games last year where they were winning on the offensive and defensive lines. Those are the games where they were really looking like a dominant football team. They got a lot of great skill players on their team, and I think the one question offensively is how are they going to replace the production of Travis Etienne, right, in the backfield, right? When you talk about now it's more of a committee at running back, and that's an offense they need to be able to run the football. And then, it just comes down to Trevor Lawrence playing the way that he did the last, 6 or 8 weeks of last year, right? Sometimes, really throughout his career, he's been inconsistent. The highs have been as high as any quarterback in football, but can he maintain that over a 17-game season and really be a legitimate MVP candidate?
Jacoby Brissett was once a quarterback here at Florida, and he's carved out a very nice career for himself. But will he be the starter for the Cardinals?
I think so. I think that's been made pretty clear throughout this entire process. The offense, looked at least relatively comfortable with him in there. He's got the veteran presence. I don't think they want to put the pressure on a Carson Beck, as a third-round rookie to go in there and try to, lead this team week one, right? Maybe we see Beck at some point down the line, or if Brissett plays well and the offense is really moving well, then he plays all 17 games. But I think for sure at some point they're going to figure out the contract, the money situation, but Brissett's going to start week one for him.
All right, Dalton, I want you to educate me as well as people who are listening. You get a Fernando Mendoza, who was the overall number one pick in the draft, and then he's like working with the third team, right? And a lot of fans are going, that doesn't make any sense. But you have a real veteran quarterback there. There's no need to rush him, correct?
There's no need to rush him. I would start him sooner than later just because the Raiders really have nothing to lose on that front. But when it comes to this early in the process, playing with the third stringers and some practice squad guys and things like that, it's about two things. One, just learning the offense, learning the foundation of the offense so early in the process before you get into July and August and preseason games and things like that really matter. And two, look, coaches, it's still the mentality of, hey, kid, you got to come in here and earn it. We don't care that you were the first overall pick. We need to see you on the field be capable of what we need you to be capable of doing, right? So they know Kirk Cousins. Clint Kubiak knows Kirk Cousins is fully capable of that. He's done it for, 15 years now. So I think Mendoza, it's just about, there's still a thing about earning your keep as a young kid and then just learning the offense. There's a lot that goes into that offense. You saw it with Seattle last year. You saw it in the past with Kubiak calling plays as well. So it's just about Mendoza learning and really getting a feel for the NFL game.
Dalton Wasserman joining us here talking National Football League. Last couple of things. The Mayfield contract situation, he says they're far apart. Does that get done?
I don't think anything gets done until after the season. I would be surprised, because I think the timeline here between Todd Bowles, I think, being on a raging hot seat, and Mayfield being on the last year of this contract, I think both their fates are tied together, and I think it just comes down to whether or not they make the postseason. If they miss the postseason, I think the Bucs are resetting both at head coach and at quarterback next year. So I get it. I think Tampa's going to stall as long as possible on this. Mayfield did not play well in the second half of last season, got off to a hot start, but didn't play well down the stretch. I think they're going to wait and see which version of Baker Mayfield goes out and plays, and which version of this team goes out. Are they going to play well, win this division, take the NFC South back? Because if they miss the postseason, I think they're both gone.
Yeah, no Mike Evans either. McCarthy in Minnesota could be a huge bust. Is this make or break for him this year?
I think not even just this year. I think you're talking about training camp and preseason. I think we're sitting here with J.J. McCarthy where we were with Anthony Richardson last year in the preseason for Indianapolis, where if you don't win this job now going into year 3, I don't know what you're going to do, right? Kyler Murray has proven in the past that he's at least obviously a functional starter with some high-end moments, and if that's all it takes to make Minnesota a playoff team again, that's what Kevin O'Connell is going to roll with. I think Kyler Murray's the favorite to take that starting job, and his make-or-break moment is not, sometime during the regular season. It is right now over the next, say, 3 months or so before we even get to week 1.
And you mentioned Anthony Richardson, his future.
I don't see. It doesn't feel like there's any trade value for him right now until somebody else maybe suffers an injury to a backup or something like that. I think he goes into Indianapolis maybe reluctantly, and he's going to be competing with Riley Leonard for that backup spot, which is obviously a quick fall for a guy who's a 4th overall pick and still fighting for the starting job last year. But between the injuries and the ineffectiveness, it's just tough to see any trade value unless the team is desperate for more depth at that position.
Great stuff. Where can people see your work?
YouTube, Preferred Walk-On, used to be the PFF College Football Show, same channel, different name, myself and Max Chadwick breaking down all things college football. We have all of our top 10 position rankings for every position going right now. That's already up, and we're working through our position units before getting into team previews for all 68 college Power 4 teams in July. Tune in, subscribe, like all the videos, and hang out with us there on Preferred Walk-On.
That sounds like a cool thing. Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks, Dalton.
Appreciate it, as always, Steve. Thank you.
You got it. He does a good job covering the NFL and college football. That's hour 1 of Sports Scene. Come back and join us for hour 2 as you listen on WRUF.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radwear, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radwear even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radwear.com. That's radwear.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World, Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions, delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World, Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Life, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome into Hour 2 of Sports Scene for this Tuesday, as Macy is making sure all the buttons get pushed right. She's producing the broadcast today. We thank you for making time out of your busy day to join us and talk some sports as we come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. Remember, if you're a Gator fan, you want your home lit up orange and blue, they can do it. You want your pool deck looking sharp with great lighting, they can do that too. How about your landscaping? They can do that too. And it's all fully programmable from your phone. You can visit GatorTrimLight.com to find out more. And we are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, in business for nearly 50 years. That's right. Northeast 39th Avenue in Gainesville, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. When you go see them, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. If you want to call us, 392-8255. That's the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. The International Diamond Center email is srussell@wruf.com. If you have a Facebook Live question you want to get in, Macy will get that to me, courtesy of Ruse Ogra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. YouTube questions, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, serving our community for 90 years. And our first hour sponsor, Quality Plumbing. One of our second hour sponsors, Domino's Pizza. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or those late night cravings. Nobody delivers like Domino's. You can order at GatorDomino's.com. All right, NBA Finals. Whatever else you want to bring up today, Gator men's golf coach J.C. Deacon is going to join us to talk about some qualifiers with a Florida connection to the U.S. Open and a recap of their just completed season. Tomorrow on the show, Jim Callis from the MLB Network will talk about the MLB draft. And then Ole Miss Athletic Director Keith Carter will be here to journey Ole Miss's run to Omaha and talk about some SEC and global issues tomorrow as well. And then later in the week, the Tampa Bay Rays play-by-play television man Dwayne Statz will join us. And then my buddy Jeff Dantzler, who does Georgia baseball radio, will be here. He'll be with us from Omaha as the Dogs are over there. So that is what's coming up. But I can talk to myself all day, but hopefully you will talk sports with me here. Email Dustin, last night in the NBA game, bench production, Spurs won 25-22. First time that's happened in the series. Also, first time Spurs won in the second half. They played better, and the Knicks did not play as sharply as they had played in that long winning streak. Let's just be honest about it. They didn't. And so part of that, is why the Spurs won. Give them credit for that. Also, when it comes to that, if tomorrow the Knicks don't win. By the way, tonight, I want to make sure I promote this. Rays and Red Sox will have it right after the tailgate at 6. And then Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, Vegas and Carolina. Vegas up 2-1. And then tomorrow, Game 4 of the NBA Finals from Madison Square Garden with no president in it. And we'll have our coverage beginning at 7:30. Hopefully they can go back to what they did in Game 3. Have the normal things they've had. Look, when it comes to my Knicks, I'm superstitious. I'm not superstitious by nature, but whatever they did, for the first game, just do what you've been doing, okay? So we will see what happens. All right, got some emails here, and by the way, did you see where the United States men's team in the World Cup, I think, was ranked 12th, which is not terrible. And I've said this many times. Soccer was never a big deal to me growing up. I get how large a thing the World Cup is. But you know what's sad? It's just like trying to buy a ticket in Madison Square Garden. Who could afford that? Who can afford that? It's priced the average fan out of it. It's sad that you can't, go. I mean, look, it's not going to be $250. I get it, okay? But come on. You should be able to go and see a game and not have to, ruin your savings account or go in debt to go see a broadcast. A game like that. Bill emails, why do you think the SEC is so dominant in baseball? Why do you think the SEC is so dominant in just about everything? The most money, best players, best coaches, best facilities. That's just how it is. What I am interested in, and I'm going to talk to Jeff Dantzler Friday about this, having been to Omaha, bigger ballpark, right, depending on how the wind is blowing, Georgia hit 326 as a team and hit 174 homers. That's pretty good. And you know what? Mississippi State was the second best team in the league in batting average at 317. You wonder why those games were like 12-10 when they played in the Super? Two really good offensive teams. David, welcome to the show.
Hey, Steve. Good afternoon.
Hey.
So, a couple thoughts. I want to talk a little Gator baseball, but first I wanted to talk about the gambling scandal. Shane and Buddy were talking about it a little this morning. You're familiar with the John Macbeth story at UF where he turned down the money and went to the FBI and they arrested the guy back in the early 60s?
I'm not familiar with that.
You're not. You got to Google that and read about him. John was a Gator football player.
It happened in the early 60s. That's probably why, but okay.
Yeah. The mob got into the Gator locker room, if you will. They came down to Gainesville, and they were trying to get John to take some money to throw a play or two. And he refused. And he went to the FBI, and they arrested the guys. And part him off, and they did some time and everything. Bianchi wrote a story about it. It's good. It's in Gator lore. There's some stories out there. You should read it. But the reason I was saying is, you're such a great interviewer. I think that he may still be alive. It'd be awesome for one of your interns, get Macy or somebody to track him down and do an interview with him. I think it should be a movie. You know, I sort of feel like the gambling thing is really a tough road to go, and this recent ruling is disastrous.
Think of they've already nailed some college basketball players for fixing games.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, it's just that, unfortunately, you know, that's happening.
Yeah, and if some bozo thinks that there may be a path to not getting in trouble for it, or you can get it won in court and not lose your career or something, that just makes it even worse as a possibility in my mind. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the Curlin boys and your thoughts. Do you think maybe they're just doing some leverage here? I've heard some things about Rivers' arm not being so great. Could he get some surgery or something? But Cade, man, I'd love to see him back. Any of your speculation? What would you speculate's going on there? I know he wants to play pro ball, but I know he want to go somewhere else.
Well, I think a couple things. He's had gazillions of at-bats here, okay?
Yeah, he has.
So, and, you know, I think he wants to play with his brother. And
I see. Yeah.
So they're both in the portal.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody can blame Cade. He's worked through injuries. He's battled through injuries here.
Yeah, he has.
And he's you know, so, you know, in this day and age, David, where transferring is pretty easy.
I know. Really
and again, I don't know any money. You know, maybe he would get more money going somewhere else. I don't know. But the other thing is, you know, if you have 1 year left, you go someplace else and see what it's like, right? You know what it's like here, and you look elsewhere. I get the optic of it because I think Gator fans would like to see him, you know, play out his career here. He's played a gazillion games, but hey, you know, it's a personal choice. And I don't know if somebody's offering, because in this day and age, you have to talk about money. At least that has to be brought up. Is he going to get more money somewhere else, and does that factor into it?
Yeah. And so he knows what he's doing as far as trying to balance that which he has out, you know, and he's got some real needs there. And I know he would want to lose a left-handed pitcher in Rivers, but he's got to believe in him, you know.
Yep. And, all right. I got to get Coach Deacon on the show, David. I got to run. Thank you for your call. Thank you. I appreciate it. Coach J.C. Deacon's next after our break. Stay with us. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Florida basketball summer workouts began yesterday. The Big Three, Howe, Condon, and Chinyulu, will be making a return, wanting to right the wrongs of their March Madness loss to Iowa. The Gators didn't forget.
Last year, our team deserved to go farther. I think we had the squad to do it, the coaching staff to do it. We just, you know, it's basketball. It's March Madness. That's why it's called March Madness. Like, stuff like that happens. And, you know, we were on the positive side the year before that of it, and, you know, we get the negative side of it then.
Florida will return to the scene of the crime on November 2nd at International Benchmark Arena against in-state rival Miami Hurricanes. The San Antonio Spurs ended the Knicks' 13-game playoff win streak yesterday. The final score was 115-111. They play in New York for Game 4 with Victor Wembanyama hoping to complete the series comeback. For full coverage of the NBA Finals, look to WRUF at 7:30.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Welcome back to Sports Scene for this Tuesday. Let's go now to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. All of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. My pleasure to bring in the Gator men's golf coach, J.C. Deacon, to the program. J.C., welcome. Thanks for doing this. Let's start with a recap a finality of the season here. Your thoughts on that year that you just completed.
Well, I think, first of all, thanks for having me, Steve. I know there's lots going on in the world of college sports right now, so nice that you all want to talk a little golf. But I think it was bittersweet. Arguably maybe the best team we've ever had, especially depth-wise, and we accomplished so much. I think we won 5 times and won the NCAA regional. Lost in the finals of the SEC and made the Elite Eight there at the national championship. But, when you have a team this good and this talented and this experienced, you want to win something really big. And, us finishing the year without an SEC championship and without a national title feels like we left a little something on the table. But we got, the core of the team coming back, and we're certainly moving in the right direction. And, I guess 6-7 years ago, I would have dreamed of this being somewhat of maybe a disappointing conclusion. So our standard is up and the expectations are up, and so that's a good thing. But just finally kind of getting over what happened. I thought we had the team to win it, and just got knocked off by Oklahoma State there in the quarters.
I know I had the feeling when I was teaching, when my students left, I was sad. You coach them, you teach them, and they kind of leave the nest. You had a particularly close team this year. How was it losing some of those guys that you've had there in that program for a while?
Well, I think you just said it perfectly. That's the hardest part of all of this, is that team's never going to be together again. And we were extremely close on and off the golf course, did everything together, had a really, really special culture, and we got two seniors who have given their absolute everything to the Florida Gators, moving on into the real world, and it is sad. That's probably the most difficult part of coaching is having to say goodbye. But Parker Bell and Matthew Kress are leaving into the real world incredibly prepared, and both have a degree from this great school. And I'm very proud of that and what they've given and what they've accomplished. So again, bittersweet's kind of the feeling, but you're right. It's sure hard to maybe process it when it's officially over and that team's never going to be together again.
Just had a caller and wanted to ask this question of you. How has NIL impacted golf?
Well, I think it's impacted golf just like it has every other sport. These kids and parents are really smart, and they pay attention to what's going on. And obviously, it's not to the same level as some of the bigger sports, but it's becoming a big part of what we're doing. And I was fighting it early on. I think when it all started, I think like a lot of coaches were. But now I look at it as a great opportunity. We've gotten more, boosters and people invested into our program. And, we get to do a little bit more for our players than we ever have been able to do in the past. And that's pretty exciting too. So it's becoming a big part of it, and we've certainly embraced it.
Gator men's golf coach J.C. Deacon joining us here live on Sports Scene. Well, as you lose players, you gain them. A couple of your incoming freshmen have qualified for the U.S. Open. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so 2026 signee Jackson Ormond. Jackson's from Rochester, New York, and just the most wonderful young man from a great family. Played phenomenal golf yesterday. I believe he shot 65, 63 to earn his spot. In the U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills. So obviously a lifelong dream for a kid from New York to be able to make his U.S. Open and really pro golf debut on a golf course like that in his home state. So that's going to be incredible for him. And the other young man is a little too young, so I'm not allowed to talk about him particularly. But let's just say the future is looking bright.
Okay. Also, I want people to know, because again, correct me if I'm wrong, don't you have to play 36 holes in one day for this?
Yeah, so they've deemed it the longest day in golf. All these qualifiers tee off around 7 a.m. And, you get a quick lunch break in the middle, but you play 36 holes. And, most of the field's probably, about 5% of the field gets a qualifying spot. So it's incredibly difficult and grueling, mentally taxing, just having to focus for that period of time. But I think it says a lot about the people who got through there. And a couple alums in Billy Horschel and Alejandro Tosti got through as well. So we'll have plenty of Gators representing at Shinnecock at the U.S. Open.
I got another email for you here from William, and he says, "Can you ask Coach this? Maybe he would know. How does the PGA pick its sites for the majors?"
Well, it's all different. The PGA of America runs the PGA Championship, and then the USGA runs the U.S. Open, and then the R&A, Royal and Ancient Golf Association, runs the the British Open, and then the Masters is their own separate entity at Augusta National. And the Masters is the only major tournament that stays at the same golf course, and I think what kind of sets it apart and makes it so special. But most of the other 3 majors are on about a 6 or 7 course rotation that they generally play, and helps fans remain familiar. And there's lots of history at all these golf courses. So Shinnecock Hills has got to be about the most iconic U.S. Open golf course you can find, maybe other than Oakmont. But it's going to be very exciting, and I know it's going to be a great challenge for these pros. Shinnecock's is as hard as you can find.
As many times as we have talked, and you've been kind enough to come on here with me, I'm not sure if I've ever asked you this question, so I'm going to ask it. If I have, I apologize, but I don't think I have. When you are on the recruiting trail and you're looking at somebody to be in your program, aside from, scoring or what they can do with a golf club in their hand, what are some of the other things you're looking for in getting somebody to join your program?
Well, it's a fantastic question, and that has changed. That's probably the thing that has changed with me as a head coach more than anything else in my career at Florida. And when I first got here, all I would focus on is the rankings and seeing who the best player was. And obviously that pool of talent's important to be able to compete at a Florida and SEC level, but it takes a special individual to flourish at this school and in this conference, because there is a unique spotlight and amount of attention that comes with playing at this school and under these expectations. So we recruit character and the young man and his parents as much as their golf scores and their golf talent. There's some certain things we look for in their ability on the golf course, but their character, how competitive they are, how comfortable they are under a spotlight, and there's some certain tricks that we use to figure that out. But that stuff's just almost more important than their talent, because it's funny, when you start playing here, playing well here, a lot of people find out about it, and we found out early on in my career some people just don't respond well. So the type of character that's going to continue to drive our chemistry and our culture is just as important as the player.
Interesting stuff. Always appreciate you, my friend. You had a terrific year. I know where you wanted to be, but still, heck of a year for you. Thank you, as always, for taking the time.
Yeah, I'm really proud of my guys and the effort we put in and everything I accomplished. And Steve, honestly, I can't thank you enough. You give golf lots of love, and our guys certainly appreciated me being at the top of that list.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Coach. JC Deacon. Yep, thank you. JC Deacon joining us here on Sports Scene. They deserve the pub. They certainly do. Don't forget, if everything goes right, next Wednesday, new Florida women's basketball coach Tammy Reese will be in the studio. And she'll take your questions, calls, and comments and talk about her building a new team and becoming the coach here, all of that. She'll be here a week from tomorrow. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we'll take, hopefully, questions, calls, and comments to wrap up Sports Scene for today as you listen on WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Summer is here. This summer, don't let pain or lingering injuries hold you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants. Our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Soccer sticker fever is here at MIAPA. Every Wednesday from 4 till 9 p.m., we're in the Fad League for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 locations. MIAPA Soccer Sticker Wednesdays from 4 till 9 p.m.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
When you're ready to roll up your sleeves or open new doors for the next generation, when you're ready to give your time where it matters most and put your heart behind every handshake, Radiant Credit Union is ready too. With partnerships, programs, and people dedicated to building stronger communities together, helping our community shine. Radiant Credit Union. When you're ready, let's get started.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
If you're tired of big banks that don't know your name, try Gala Bank, Gainesville's only local bank. Over 350 years of combined experience, here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets. Anybody can cash a check anytime at Gala Bank. You can find them at 7515 West University Avenue off of Tower Road, member FDIC. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Today, Macy's making history. She doesn't know it. We have not had, to my knowledge, one Facebook Live question. Nothing today. That's never happened. So, no YouTube question, no Facebook Live question, no text questions, nothing. Wow. That's, I've never had that happen before. We do have an International Diamond Center email. Philip, what will happen if the Knicks lose in the finals? You mean to me? I will be, if the Knicks lose, the next day I'm on the air, I'll be wearing all black. Look, this, maybe if you're a fan of a team that hasn't been very good, you can relate a bit. I mean, you're a Pirates fan or, I don't know, whatever franchise. It's been a long time since you've won anything, and you're that close to doing it, but you don't get it done. It'd be just crushing. By the way, my man Tony, thank you for sending me the article about the Gator dude in 1960 with the gambling. I was not aware of that. So thank you for that. But anyway, yeah, that will not be a good day. But if it happens, we move on. But it will not be pleasant. Philip, who wins the College World Series and why? I'm going to make that pick later in the week. It's, you know, if Georgia is the perceived favorite, I tend to not pick the favorite. What I am interested in is to see what a Troy and a West Virginia do under the biggest stage. I mean, if I'm them, man, I'm going there and I'm having myself a blast. There is no pressure on them at all. Play loose, play free, enjoy it. There is pressure on Georgia. I mean, they're expected to make a good run here. So we will see. All right, let's get to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. David is there. Hi, David.
Good afternoon, Steve. You know, you mentioned earlier about Rich Eisen and his slant on Congress getting involved in college sports. I agree with you that Congress should get involved in it. And I know his take was that they don't have time to do the research. Well, in fact, they don't do the research. Their aides do all the research. And they got plenty of aides to do that research. When Nick Saban was testifying before Congress or for that committee, he talked about it not being a bipartisan issue, but a non-partisan. I agree with him because I think it's something that everybody can agree on, that college sports, something has to be done to address some of these issues.
You won't get any argument from me, but it's just, I guess, I mean, think about it. Georgia and Nebraska will boycott future games against Texas Tech. Think about that a college has come out and said, we will not play you because of what a judge decided. And I totally understand. Now, if you're Texas Tech, they've become all of a sudden the villains of college athletics. You know, their softball team, you know, not shaking hands, all that stuff. Oh, you know, Florida game, I shouldn't say they, but then the whole thing with them, the money that's involved and, you know, all that. They've sort of become the villains here of the sport. But there's just so many things wrong. And that's why I can't wait till August, because then we start playing games and for a while you forget about it because you're worried about beating, you know, whoever you're playing. But there's so many things wrong with athletics now, you almost forget what's right. And that's sad.
Yeah, it really is. And I agree, Steve, about Texas Tech. Unfortunately, they're playing the system, and it's a bad system. They're using the money that they have available to buy all these players, and it is a pay-for-play. We all know that. And on a closing note, Steve, how about those St. Louis Cardinals? They weren't expected to do anything this year, Steve, and they're playing quite well. And Walker, who, as a fan of the Cardinals, I was ready to get rid of that guy, and all of a sudden he's becoming the player they always thought he would be. Have a good one, Steve.
All right. Thank you, David. Yeah, I mentioned this the other day. It's been an odd baseball year. Look at Toronto, where they were last year. They're below 500. right now, right? The Red Sox, sorry, Kevin, they're 10 games below 500. The Mets are awful, right, with all the money they have spent. But the White Sox have been a very pleasant surprise. The Athletics, until a recent swoon, have been a pleasant surprise. Washington is above 500, 70 games into the season just about. That's a pleasant surprise. The Cardinals, I think, are 6 or 7 games over 500. The Pirates are over 500. That division, the worst team in that division, the Reds, are 3 games under 500. Everybody else, including the Brewers, and Arizona is above 500. So, when you look at surprises, there's been probably more surprises in a positive sense in MLB than there have been disappointments. Again, I think if you were to go the disappointment route, the Mets, without a doubt. I don't know anybody else in the National League. I think the American League, I mentioned Toronto, Detroit maybe, but you could put it as, without Skubal, are they the same? Kansas City has had a poor year after a good year last year. So, yeah. And you know what? Who I feel sorry for? Angels fans. They're terrible. They're terrible. And they have an owner that doesn't get it. They're in Los Angeles, for crying out loud. They're in L.A., man. And they got Mike Trout, who's just languishing there. They're never going to win there. And it's just a poorly run outfit. They're 17 games under 500. That's how bad they are. And they got no shot. They 0 shot. The Mets are 7 under 5. They're a little bit better than what they were, but they're still in last place with all that payroll. And that's one thing. Kevin just walked back in the door. He and I can share because his team and my baseball team are both in last place. Misery loves company. And they're both bad. And what are they going to do? The other question is, what do you do at the trade deadline if you're those teams? Yeah, right? I mean, we'll find out. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up today. You're listening to Sports Scene coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Florida basketball began summer workouts yesterday with Tall Golden and his team ready for whatever storm lies ahead. Florida is bringing back 4 stars. The Gators roster will be deep. Here's All-American Thomas Howell on Florida's future.
I don't know if any team ever had this much depth, and I think when it's our time to go, me, Kondo, and all of us, I think that there's still going to be an insanely good core group of guys here for the following years to come.
The season opener against Miami will take place in Tampa on November 2nd in the exact arena where their season ended. Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals takes place in Vegas tonight at 8. The Golden Knights are currently up 1 in the series. For full coverage, look on WRUF.com at 7:30. The Rays host the Red Sox tonight in the second game of the series. First pitch is at 6:40. For full coverage of tonight's game, look to WRUF at 6 o'clock.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
It's the Battle of the Trucks at Davis-Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado 1500 strikes first with 0% financing for 60 months. The 26 GMC Sierra strikes back with 0% financing for 60 months plus no monthly payments for 130 days. Come see us today at Davis-Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World, Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions, delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World, Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Clouds and a few peaks of sun for us today. High temperatures in the upper 80s. Feels like temperatures in the lower 90s. A breeze from the Atlantic gusting to 15 miles an hour. A few stray evening showers are possible for us, mainly east of the I-75 corridor. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, humid and warm. Lows only dropping to about the 70-degree mark. Hot tomorrow feels like temperatures in the upper 90s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
The John Sumrall era begins this September. Catch every game right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM. We are your home for Gator sports.
All right, here to wrap it up today, we do have a comment here from Mortal Jim. Was this the B&D Electric? Okay, all right. Tech fans keep trying to say they're helping Sorsby, which is BS, helping somebody with addictions, not putting them in the same situation that got him in trouble. Alcoholics quit going to the bar. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Chris is there. Hi, Chris.
Hello, Steve.
Yes, sir.
The last caller got me to where I wanted to chime in, and primarily about the NCAA. You know, we're in a lot of the mess we're in because they failed to act when they had the opportunity and the window to do so when NIL was coming down the pike. And at that point, they had all the authority, I believe, in order to do so and to set the guidelines, rules, what have you. They failed to do that. So that just kind of threw open the door to the old Wild West for everybody to kind of interpret their own rules, go with what they wanted to do, et cetera, And now it seems like they've lost even more backbone, increasingly so, as we're at the point we're at now, where they're simply throwing their hands up in the air and saying, well, I guess there's really nothing we can do. And they become now a punchline, and I think to the point to where it should just be dissolved, which, of course, then brings the question question, well, who replaces them? Because you have to have some sort of ruling body. And then part two of that question would be, and then what happens with the basketball tournament? So I'm not saying that I have answers when I rattle off all these things. I'm kind of sounding off that I wish they had stepped in and used their authority when they could have, and maybe we wouldn't be at this point. So your thoughts?
Chris, I'll say this. I've spent some time trying to look back and thinking at some, pressure points, if you will. Where could it have changed? And, for example, remember when NIL first started? It was states. There was confusion. Well, that was allowed to fester. So instead of saying, okay, we're going to attack this right now, but remember, there were lawsuits. That's the trouble, that every time there was something that looked like it might be rectified, bam, lawsuit, bam, something changed. Just like with Sorsby. I mean, that is the worst of the worst that a judge would be able to do what he has done there. But that's the system that we are under. And I'm sure there'll be something that comes out of this, but right now, I do not like where we are headed here, because nobody can come up with anything that has any kind of semblance to it of any order or whatever to this. It's just sad.
It is, and it's right for somebody, that seems to indicate it's an individual, but it would have to be a collection of individuals to come in and say, okay, we are going to redo the NCAA or whatever they want to call it in light of where we're at. And this is a set of rules by which we all are going to operate that has a heavy hand. Not an easy thing to do and not something that's going to happen overnight. But it's just, what good are they anymore? And that's more of a rhetorical question than anything.
Yeah, and it's not just the NCAA. I mean, it's also the schools. Thank you, Chris. It's also the schools, right? I mean, look, they can't even come up with how many teams to have in a playoff. They can't even come up with that. And and they can't come up with a system. Look, I've said this before. I only have a minute to do this. The schools don't have the stones to come up with the NFL model. If they did that, this would all go away. It would all go away. But they don't have the stones to do that because schools don't want to want a level playing field. They want to go out and raise more money than the other school. Well, the NFL is willing to say, you know what? The Cleveland Browns have as much money as the New York Giants or the Raiders do. How do you spend it? How do you sign? What do you do? That'll shape your team. And they could do that at the college level, but they won't. I guarantee you they won't. And that is, again, if you don't have something like that, then Congress gets involved. I think their thought processes are in the right place, but it's just become a jumbled mess with all of these things coming at us all at one time. Don't forget tonight, Rays and the Red Sox at 6 after the tailgate, and then Game 4, Stanley Cup Finals, Vegas and Carolina, and Vegas up 2-1. Thanks to Macy for producing Sports Scene today. We thank you for consuming it. Kevin and the Sports Lab gang are next. Do not move your radio dial. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to talk to Jim Callis from MLB Network. We'll talk about the upcoming MLB draft. Ole Miss Athletic Director Keith Carter will be with us, and working on some other guests too. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. You're tuned to Sports Scene, and we'll see you tomorrow.
former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their pressed ciabatta pesto chicken with fries, grilled chicken, assorted roast peppers, mushrooms, mozzarella, and pesto aiul.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
P.F. Chang's Gainesville is serving up incredible lunch specials starting at just $11.99. So if you're in the mood for Asian fusion cuisine, stop in for lunch today. And don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Make your next lunch or afternoon unwind unforgettable at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch and happy hour.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just